$7,000 and 2.5 million calories sounds like an insane amount of food. Here's the honest gut punch that most of the videos on this subject will never tell you. 2.5 million calories is not the mountain it sounds like. For one person doing hard physical work, it's a little under 2 years. For a family of 4, that same enormous sounding pile is gone in well under a year. Almost everybody wildly overestimates how much food they actually have, because almost nobody does the math. So today, I'm gonna do the math with you, honestly, and then I'm gonna show you the version that costs a few $100s instead of $7,000, because you do not need to spend a fortune to be genuinely ready. Quick note before we start. I'm Merritt, and this is general preparedness education, not professional, medical, or financial advice, and not a prediction about any event. I'm not telling you to spend a dime you don't have. I'm going to hand you the blueprint and the real numbers, and you scale it to your life and your budget, all right? Let's build a serious food supply the honest way, from the calories up. Everything starts with the math, so let's get it out of the way first, because this one number governs everything else. A person needs roughly 2,000 calories a day just to stay alive and functional at rest. But in a real grid-down situation, you will not be resting. You'll be hauling water, chopping wood, doing everything by hand, and that pushes a working adult to 3,000, even 4,000 calories a day. So let's be honest and split the difference for planning. Call it about 2,500 calories per person per day. Now multiply. One person for 1 year at that rate is a little over 900,000 calories. Call it roughly 1 million calories per person per year. That's the number to carve into your mind. About 1 million calories per person per year. So that headline of 2.5 million calories, that's about 2.5 years for one person, or a bit over half a year for a family of 4. See how fast the mountain shrinks when you actually run the numbers? That's the whole reason people who think they have a 10-year supply actually have 1 or 2. They never multiply. So here's how you think about your target. Decide how many people and decide how many months you're building toward, and start small and honest. A 1-month supply for your household is a real, achievable first goal. Then 3 months, which is where I'd tell most folks to plant their flag, because 3 months of food carries you through the large majority of real disasters. Then a year, if you want deep security. 5 years is a serious long-haul project that takes years to build and real space to store. And that's fine, but you build it in these steps, not in one panic buy. Ready is a bank account, and that's the running idea for this whole blueprint. Every bucket you put away is a deposit. Calories in the bank that you can withdraw when the paycheck of normal life stops coming. You don't fill a bank account in a day. You make deposits. Now let's talk about what actually goes in those buckets, because this is where the $7,000 number falls apart in the best possible way. The secret is calories per dollar. You are not buying fancy freeze-dried pouches. You are buying the cheapest, dense calories on earth, the plain, dry staples that have fed humanity through every hard century. Let me walk the list with rough quantities per person per year, and you'll see how cheap real security is. White rice is the foundation, cheap, dense, and it stores for decades when it's sealed right. Dried beans and lentils go right beside it, because rice and beans eaten together make a complete protein, all the building blocks your body needs. For pennies a serving. Rolled oats for breakfasts that need only hot water. Plain flour, or better yet, whole wheat you can grind. For bread, sugar, for calories and morale and preserving. Salt, which costs almost nothing and makes plain food eatable. Cooking oil, which is ounce for ounce, the single most calorie-dense thing you can store, though I'll give you the honest catch on oil in a minute. Powdered milk for protein and fat. And pasta, cheap and filling. The old storage guidance from university extension programs and long-term food planners lands somewhere around 300 pounds of grains, plus a good stock of beans, fats, sugar, and milk per person for a year. And here's the number that matters. Bought as plain staples, in bulk, that year of survival calories for one person cost you somewhere in the low hundreds of dollars, not thousands. The $7,000 buys convenience, freeze-dried variety, and years of shelf life with zero work. The few $100s buys the same calories and asks you to do a little packing yourself. Both keep you alive. Only one of them is within reach of a person on a fixed income, and that's the one I'm going to teach you to build. Let me stop here for a second, because this next part is the actual skill, The thing that separates a pile of groceries that rots in a year from a real 5-year supply that just sits there quietly holding. It's the packing. There are 3 layers of protection between your food and the world, and you want all 3. Think of it as micro, meso, and macro. The micro layer is the sealed bag the food sits in directly. The meso layer is the container that bag goes inside. And the macro layer is the room you keep it all in. Get those 3 right and dry staples last for decades. Get them wrong and bugs, air, and moisture ruin everything. Here's the protocol, and it's simpler and cheaper than people think. The micro layer is a Mylar bag, a thick, foil-lined bag that blocks light, air, and moisture completely, far better than plastic. You pour your rice or beans or oats into the Mylar bag, and then you drop in an oxygen absorber. That little packet is the whole secret. It pulls the oxygen out of the sealed bag, and with the oxygen gone, 2 things happen. The fats can't go rancid nearly as fast, and any insect eggs that came in with the grain can't hatch and survive, because bugs need oxygen too. You seal the Mylar bag shut with heat, a household iron, or even a hair straightener does it, and you've just created a little airless, lightless vault around your food. That's what turns a 1-year bag of rice into a 25 to 30-year one. The meso layer is a food-grade bucket. Your sealed Mylar bags go inside a sturdy bucket with a tight lid, and now the bucket protects against crushing, against rodents chewing through, against water. And here's a money saver worth knowing. Because the food is fully sealed inside the Mylar already, the bucket itself doesn't have to be a fancy food grade one, and the lid doesn't have to be the expensive gasketed kind. The Mylar is doing the food contact work, so the bucket is just armor. That one fact saves you a lot of money at scale. The macro layer is your storage space, and it matters as much as the buckets. Cool, dark, and dry. Heat is the enemy of shelf life. Every 10 degrees, warmer, roughly, cuts how long your food keeps its quality, so a hot attic or garage is the worst place you could pick, and a cool basement or an interior closet is ideal. Dark, because light degrades food, so no window shining on your buckets. And dry, because moisture is what grows mold and rust and ruin in a damp climate. A small dehumidifier in the storage room is one of the best investments you can make, and you empty it regularly. Keep the buckets up off a bare concrete floor if you can, on a board or a pallet, because concrete pulls moisture and cold. Cool, dark, dry, off the floor. That's the macro layer, and it's mostly free. Let me give you the first big honesty beat, because I promised you straight talk, and this is where I earn it. Fats and oils do not store for years, and anybody selling you a 5-year plan heavy on oil is not being straight with you. Cooking oil is your most calorie-dense food, so you want some, but it goes rancid in a matter of a year or 2, even stored well, so you buy it in amounts you'll actually rotate through, and you keep it cool and dark to stretch it. The same goes for anything with fat in it. Brown rice with the oil still in the bran goes rancid in months. So for long-term storage, you store white rice and skip the brown, whatever the health magazines say. Whole wheat flour, same problem. Store the whole wheat berries instead, which keep for decades, and grind them as you need them. The rule is simple, and it's the honest heart of long-term storage. Low-fat stores for decades, fat is a clock. Build your long-term base out of the low-fat staples and treat the oils as a rotating, shorter-term item. Here's the second honesty beat, and it comes straight from watching people waste their money. Be very careful with those buckets of freeze-dried meals advertised as 30, 60, 100 meals for a couple $100. I'm not gonna name a brand, but do the math the way we did at the start. Divide the price by the actual calories, not the number of little pouches, and count what a serving really is, because it's often tiny. Bucket for bucket, you will almost always get more calories, more versatility, and more real food out of a plain bucket of rice and beans you packed yourself than out of the pre-made emergency bucket. The convenience is real, and freeze-dried food does have a place, but a lot of that product is priced for people who will buy it, stick it in a closet, and never eat it. Don't pay premium prices for calories. You can buy for a tenth as much. That's the wedge, and it'll save you real money. Third honest note, and it's about your health over the long haul. A supply built on rice, beans, oats, and flour will keep you alive and full, but it is thin on vitamins over months and years. So, 2 cheap additions matter more than they look. A big bottle of multivitamins, which costs almost nothing and covers the gaps, and whatever you can do to keep some variety and some fresh food in rotation. This is calories and survival, not a perfect diet, and I'd rather tell you that plainly than let you find out the hard way after 6 months on plain rice. Let me stop one more time to say the thing that has to be said on any food video. Food without water is nothing. You can survive a surprisingly long time on short rations of food, but water you cannot go more than a few days without, and cooking all these dry staples takes water too. Water storage and purification is its own whole subject and its own video, so I won't crowd it in here, but do not build a beautiful 5-year food supply and forget that it sits on top of water. Plan the water alongside it. Let me make this concrete, because a blueprint you can't picture is useless. Here's roughly what a 1-year supply for one adult looks like sitting in the cart, and you scale it up by the number of people. About 300 pounds of grains, call it 150 pounds of white rice, 60 pounds of oats, and the rest in wheat, cornmeal, and pasta. Around 60 pounds of dried beans and lentils for protein, 25 to 30 pounds of sugar, 10 to 15 pounds of salt, 10 to 20 pounds of powdered milk, a few gallons of cooking oil that you rotate, and a bottle of multivitamins to cover the gaps. That's it. That's a year of survival calories for one person, and bought as plain staples in bulk, it lands in the low hundreds of dollars, not the thousand. Now the container math, because people always ask how much fits where, a standard 5-gallon bucket holds right around 35 to 40 pounds of rice or wheat. So that 150 pounds of rice is about 4 buckets. Your whole one-person year of dry staples comes out to somewhere around 8 to 12 buckets. And 8 to 12 buckets is a stack you can fit in a closet, corner, or under a bed. Picture that. A year of food is a waist-high stack in one corner. For a family of 4, multiply it out. Roughly 40 buckets for a year, which is a small closet or a section of garage shelving on the cool side of the house. For the oxygen absorbers, since we're packing the long-term portion in Mylar the way I described, the rule of thumb is enough absorber for the size of the bag. A 5-gallon Mylar bag wants around 2,000 cubic centimeters of oxygen absorber, which is usually a few of the standard packet. Here's the honest tip most people learn the hard way. An oxygen absorber starts working the moment it hits the air, so open the packet they come in, pull out only what you'll use in the next few minutes, and reseal the rest immediately, or they're spent. And once you crack open a sealed bucket to use it, that batch is on the clock like anything else, so pack in sizes you'll actually go through in a reasonable stretch, rather than one giant bag you open and can't reseal. Then there's rotation, and this is where the 2-pantry idea earns its keep. Your long-term buckets you seal and forget, you don't touch them for years. But your working pantry, the canned goods and everyday food you actually eat, you run first in, first out, newest to the back, oldest to the front, and you always pull from the front. Write the month and year on everything with a marker the day you bring it home. Do that, and nothing ever quietly expires on you in the back of a shelf. The long-term supply is your savings account you don't touch. The working pantry is your checking account you use and refill every week. And round out the plain calories with a few things that make the food actually eatable over the long haul. Because morale is a real prep. A big jar of bouillon turns plain rice into soup. Stored spices and salt are the difference between food you'll eat gladly and food you choke down. Peanut butter needs no cooking at all and packs fat and protein into every spoonful, though it's got a shorter clock, so you rotate it. Powdered eggs and powdered milk for protein and baking, and a small stash of comfort, hard candy, cocoa, coffee, whatever keeps spirits up when things are grim. None of that is expensive, and all of it turns a survival stockpile into food a family will actually eat without a fight. Let me give you the honest budget tiers, spelled out, so nobody feels priced out. A solid 1-month supply of these staples for one person is a matter of $30 to $50, genuinely. That's a weekend grocery run done deliberately. 3 months, which is where I want most people to aim, runs somewhere around $100 to $150 for one person. A full year of the plain staples lands in the low hundreds, call it $300 to $500 for one person depending on your prices and what you catch on sale. That's the whole honest range. The $7,000 number in the title buys years of hands-off, freeze-dried, grab-and-go convenience for a family real, but a luxury. The few $100s buys the same survival for one person and asks you to do a little pack. Start where your budget is and build from there. And let me name the mistakes that ruin these supplies, since I'd rather you skip the ones I've watched people make. Storing it hot, a garage that bakes in summer can cut your shelf life in half, so keep it on the cool side of the house. Storing it on bare concrete, which pulls moisture and cold into the bottom bucket, so set them on a board or a pallet. Buying a mountain of food nobody in the house will actually eat, which is money set on fire store what you already eat. And forgetting the can opener, the humble tool that stands between you and every can you stored, so keep 2 manual ones. Small things. Each one is the difference between a supply that works and a supply that lets you down. Now let me tie the blueprint together into something you can actually act on. Decide your people in your timeline and start with 1 month, then 3. Build it out of the cheapest dense calories: rice, beans, oats, wheat, sugar, oil, salt, powdered, milk bought in bulk, which costs hundreds, not thousands. Pack the long-term portion the real way. Mylar bag plus an oxygen absorber for the micro layer, a sturdy bucket for the meso layer, and a cool, dark, dry room for the macro layer. Keep a separate working pantry of the canned and everyday foods you actually eat and rotate through. First in, first out, so nothing is wasted. Treat the fats as a shorter-term rotating item. Add a bottle of vitamins, and never forget the water underneath it all. Do that, and you've built a genuine multi-year supply for a fraction of that $7,000 headline. If you're the one in your family who thinks about this, who looks at a bare cupboard differently than everybody else and wonders quietly whether you're overdoing it, you're not overdoing it, and you're not paranoid. A full pantry is the oldest security there is. Our great-grandparents put food by every single fall without anybody calling them preppers, because they'd lived through seasons when the store shelf couldn't save you. You're just remembering something the modern world forgot. You're not paranoid, you're early. So here's the honest ledger to take with you. 2.5 million calories is about 2.5 years for one person, not 5, and far less for a family. So do your own math and don't let a headline fool you. The cheap staples beat the fancy buckets on calories per dollar almost every time. The packing is the real skill, and it's just Mylar, an oxygen absorber, a bucket, and a cool, dark, dry room. Fat is a clock, so build the base out of low-fat staples. And you build the whole thing in calm steps, a deposit at a time, not in one frightened afternoon at the store. You don't have to do all of it. Do one thing this week. Ready is built one calm step at a time.